Yeah, you're right, Chris. It's been, gosh, that's almost 11 years. Yeah.
Because it's funny, because sometimes you'll see guys in an airport or wherever, but I literally have not seen you in such a long time.
And we worked together for,
I think
all through that run.
I think the first few years of your career, we probably worked 50 times.
Yeah, you had a big impact on my career. Back then you knew I didn't know much. I was just following you through matches. And, you and Benoit,
Eddie, yeah.
It was a big learning experience. But you guys made it easy for me to pick it up and start coming into my own. Yeah.
I think of all the years I've been in the job, 27 years, you're probably well, Brock as well. You and Brock are the quickest learners as far as coming in and learning so quickly and being a top level guy basically within the first 6 months of your career.
Yeah, it was tough. From the day I started to the day I was on TV, and I literally wrestled you a couple months after that. It was only a year. It was a year training. I know Brock had probably about 2.5 years, but when he came in, they put him, put the title on right away. It was wow.
Yeah.
But I think we both caught on fairly quickly. But it was, we both were. We were not fed, but it was like, I don't know if it was Vince or whoever, but they put us with the right people. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't go wrong with Jericho, Benoit, and Eddie. That was you guys were my first, programs and matches.
Right. I think that you and I might have even been your first program, really.
Yeah, real program.
Yes. Right off the
Intercontinental.
Yeah. Then we did the thing at Mania with Chris with the European and Intercontinental. So I think that's another thing too. You got put with such good guys because then you're in there with Hunter and Taker and Rock and Austin, and it's just like you didn't really have to go through the ranks. You just came in right at that level.
They were putting me with the right people, and it was like, with Undertaker just said, listen to me out there. It was so easy, just, okay, what's next? But everybody's like, Kurt Angle was so good. No, I'm not. I'm just listening. I'm a good listener.
Do you think because of your background in Olympic wrestling that helped you pick it up quicker? Or are you just a natural? And you're very humble, so I can say it, but you're like a natural.
I don't think it was the wrestling background. It was really hard when I started, and I was having a hard time the first few days. They were telling me, you have to allow this guy to pick you up and slam you. You have to show emotion. I'm like, well, I never showed emotion, and no one's ever picked me up and slammed me. I don't give my body to people. So your instincts tell you, don't do this. And, you've done it for 20 years, amateur wrestling, and you just go in there, you go for the kill, and you go for the pin right away. There's no storytelling. There's no showing the crowd emotion. There's no, give and take. It's just all take.
Right.
But I just said, you have to forget everything you learned, and you have to start over, and that's what I did.
Because I was wondering about that. In that you start with such a just a shoot background basically. Like you said, Shamrock was like the two at first. He was like, I remember I chopped him one night. He punched me in the face, and I was like, why? He goes, you're not gonna chop me with that bullshit. I'm like, dude, it's a work, right? So for you to come in where it's everything is real. You're a legit gold medal winner. Was it strange for you when they said, okay, you have to lose to this guy? Or
yeah, it was. I don't lose. What are you talking about?
I've never lost ever.
But you know what? I've always been a kid with a big imagination. I always liked to pretend to do things, and I pretend I was a basketball player or an athlete, and I pretend it would be in the NBA Finals or the Super Bowl. I had a good imagination. I think that really helps in our sport, in the WWE and what we do in professional wrestling and sports entertainment. You have to have a great imagination. You have to come up with ideas and characters and finishes that really make people go, wow, So I've always been intrigued by that, and I think that helped.
Well, because, you were laughing about losing, but then also the character. Like, that's why you were like this total package with the like you could do a promo, but you could do the comedy stuff, and you could be serious, and That's what this business is all about. You definitely picked that up very quickly.
Not as good as you, but I did pretty well. I just realized that, I didn't know if I could do anything funny. I was never a funny kid, but when you and I had a good writer. Brian was. I know you came up with most of your stuff, but Brian was really good at that stuff, and he would tell me, just try this or do this, and we're going to do something funny with you. Okay, how do I do it? And he would, he would run it by me, and I just went out there and did it, and it worked, And usually, for the most part, fans were annoyed by me, but I would rather fans appreciate to hate me than not care about me at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your first match in the WWE, because I tell this story quite often. It was very impressive to me. You came in with the 3 eyes.
Intensity, integrity,
intelligence, and it was almost like were you supposed to be a babyface when you first came in? Because it was almost campy, like to the point. But was it supposed to be a babyface thing?
Well, what Vince explained to me, and he had this planned out ahead of time. He said, we're gonna force you down their throats, and we're gonna make you seem like you're a babyface, but you're gonna be a guy that's so perfect the fans are gonna be annoyed by you. And I told him, I said, that's not going to happen. I'm an Olympic gold medalist. This is the United States of America. I'm going to be touring in all these cities. And he said, trust me, they're going to hate you. And I think he tried to do it with The Rock, some sort of character like that, and it backfired on him, and he knew it was going to backfire again.
The babyface backfire.
Yes, the babyface backfire. So he said, we're gonna do this the right way this time.
So and maybe I got worked on this, but your first match was against Sean Stasiak, and halfway through the match, you grabbed the mic and started doing a promo. Now, I was always under the assumption that you were supposed to be a babyface, but the crowd wasn't working, and Vince told you halfway through the match to do a promo. Was that planned?
No, you know me. I just started, and I'm nervous as hell, and I'm wrestling this match. All of a sudden, the referee says, "Angle, Vince told me to tell you to, bump Stasiak, get outside the ring, grab the microphone. You tell these people you don't boo an Olympic gold medalist." And I said, Are you serious? He goes, listen, I'm not going to say it one more time. And he said it again, and I did it. So Vince, whether Vince planned it or not, I think he knew they were going to be chanting boring, because nobody knew. They knew I won a gold medal, but that doesn't stand in this business. But nobody cared about Sean or I. So whoever was winning or losing, it was a boring match because nobody invested any kind of emotion in
Right.